Hi and welcome to Le Studio Marco Primeau. I'm glad you're here on my channel. I hope you and your family are well. Today we're going to talk about reamping, the action of taking a signal from your DAW and sending it outside of the DAW and record it again, which we call reamp. We speak about reamping, and it's often about electric guitar. What we do is record the electric guitar through a DI. We send the output to an amp, and then the clean signal to a separate track, so we can record a guitar amplifier and the clean sound of the guitar on separate tracks. And after that, when we get time, we can send that clean signal to different amplifier with different sounds, and it gives us different choices when mixing time comes. And of course, reamping can be used with any signal. You can take a vocal track, sending it to an external compressor or EQ, or you can manipulate a track in real time and you want to record the result on the second track. This is one question that I got from one subscriber, and that's why I'm doing this video. So I hope you get your answer here. Let's dive in right away. All right, so let's start with preparing the project. I did set up 3 tracks for now. What we're going to do is load an electric guitar recording, but raw from the output of the DI. And let's just load it. Something random that I did with a customer. And we're going to loop just one part, like this, and activate the loop here. So if we listen to it, okay, so you see it's the raw track from the output of the guitar. Okay, and we're gonna name the track source. The second track and the third track will be the input from the reamp. So reamp in, and let's name it the name of the mic. This one will be E906. Okay, and this one reamp in, and this is a T47. Put both track at mono right here if it's not already there. And what you need to do is choose the output of this track, of the source track, and send it a different output from the monitor output on your interface. So we're gonna start with the mixer. So here our source, instead of sending it to the stereo master, which will be this output, the main output, we will choose another output. To set up that, hit Y and go into audio device. And on top here are all the physical inputs of your interface and the playback at the bottom. You see, I did not select them all because I don't need that amount of outputs. So the only ones that I set up was the monitors, reamp, headphones, and the click track. So the reamp is our second output. So those are all software outputs. And on your audio interface, it might differ depending on the make of the interface. But with Total Mix Effects, the software playback are all on that line. So if we see the first one, monitors, I did set up the same name, Reamp, phones, and click track. So what well, let's just play and see the levels. You see, so there's some levels going out of the monitor output. Again, okay. If we go here, you see that the software playback is now only into the master output, the master software output, which I named monitor. Okay, so what we want to do is change that output to the Reamp output. Reamp software output. So if we go again and hit play, okay, you see that there's some volume here coming in. So what we will do is choose a physical output to redirect that signal. So what I'm going to choose is this output, and you see the level here will redirect the software output to that physical output, which I also renamed Reamp. And this output goes to a Reamp box from Radial. It's better to have a Reamp box if you're going to send a signal to an electric guitar amplifier. Because the signal which those amplifier will accept is the instrument level. And most of output from interface are line level. So if you send a line level to the input level of the amp, it will distort right away because it's way too hot for what the input expect. So that's one rule that you can't really break with reamping. You need to match the output impedance with the input of where you send a signal. So if you want to reamp and go into a preamp, so you need to down the signal from line level to mic level. And same thing with an amplifier for instrument. You need to go down to instrument level. Anyway, so after the Reamp box, this goes right into the input of the amplifier. And so we did put two mics in front of it. And those two mics are going to be recorded to our two tracks. So the two tracks that I chose were those ones. We're gonna change the inputs, ISA 7 and ISA 8. So if I push play, I should have levels both places. Okay, and if we play back, okay, this is one, and the other one. And of course, the deal with this, having two microphones on your amp, is to blend both together. So let's listen again. So you have different sounds that you can choose from different part of your song while mixing. So again, you need to send any track to a separate output of your interface, and that output will go to whatever outboard gear you have, an amp or a compressor or anything, and then the output of this unit or a microphone put in front of it will go back into the software to be recorded again. And this is why we have a difference of sound between the original and the end result. So as I said earlier, even if this example is with an electric guitar, you can take any signal, a bass guitar, anything that is in your DAW can go out of the DAW and coming back. If you were to manipulate the sound in your DAW in real time and you want to record that, of course, there's no reason to have an external unit. You can take the output of your interface and sending it to an input, and then send your modifications to that output and record the result to a second track. So I hope it answers a few questions. If you have more questions, put them in the comments. And if you did like this video, please click on like, consider subscribing, hit the bell to get notifications, and share my videos. It's always a great help.